Hello my dear Armenians, these are the news from Western Armenia, especially for you. Western Armenia, Aprahamian on the deserted paths of our history. Kars reveals its sacred ancient drawings. Sunset of the Ants, Zaven Biberyan's powerful account of the Varlık Vergisi tragedy. Arman Tatoyan, we can overcome any danger if we stand together. The ratification of the Genocide Prevention Convention. Hakob Oshakan, a shining voice of Western Armenian literature. The Children's Great Dance in Van. Today's Truth by Ashot Harutyunyan. In an interview with Western Armenia State TV, President Aprahamian spoke about the deep historical reasons behind the Armenian tragedy and the long-term plans made by powerful states. He explained that since the Berlin Congress, major regional powers created political and military strategies where Armenians were often pushed aside and targeted. Their goal was to weaken Armenians, cut them from their homeland, and stop the rebirth of their national strength. According to him, this was not just economic or administrative pressure, it was political project aimed at destroying Armenians and taking their land. The genocide did not start in 1915, its roots were formed in the late 1800s and later become a state-controlled system. Aprahamian said that truth is necessary for justice. Western Armenia represents both the pain of lost homeland and the deep roots of Armenian identity that enemies tried to erase but failed. Our people were killed and displaced, yet our memory and identity survived. Today, our duty is to tell the truth and restore justice, he said. In Kars, new discoveries continue to reveal its Armenian past. On the walls of old buildings, people recently found simple drawings that at first look strange, but with attention, a clear Armenian cross appears. These small symbols, along with nearby signs and animal figures, show that the area was once a natural place of Armenian culture, faith and life. They remind us that history cannot be erased, it appears again and again. These drawings silently prove the same truth. Kars has been a part of Armenian identity for centuries. Zaven Biberyan's novel Sunset of the Ants is one of the strongest Western Armenian works of the 20th century. It shows how the Varlık Vergisi tax destroyed the lives of non-Muslim citizens, especially Armenians in Constantinople. The story follows the Tarkhanyan family, who slowly lose everything because of this unfair tax, not only their property, but also their dignity, trust and hope. The main character, Baret, returns from forced labor to discover that his home, his family and his world have completely changed. Biberyan shows how political pressure and instability can break people's sense of security and unity. The novel still reminds us of a major injustice that should never be forgotten. On December 7, 1988, during the earthquake, Arman Tatoyan was at school. His father immediately went to help in Lenagan, where thousands had died and entire towns were destroyed. People from Armenia, the Soviet Union, Europe and Middle East, America and the Armenian diaspora all came together to help. For a moment all disagreements disappeared and everyone worked for one goal: to save lives. Tatoyan says this day proves that Armenians can unite. Today he believes we need that same unity, not only to survive pain, but to grow stronger. Our strength isn't standing side by side, he remains. On December 9, 1948, the UN General Assembly approved the Convention of the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. This document became a foundation of international law, defining the global responsibility to prevent genocide and punish those who commit it. Even today, the Convention remains a key tool for protecting human rights, ensuring justice, and safeguarding nations. Born on December 9, 1883, Hakob Oshakan became one of the greatest figures of Western Armenian literature. As a writer and educator, he shaped an entire generation. His novels, historical works, and studies became essential sources for understanding Armenian history, psychology, and destiny. He believed that the survival of Armenian thoughts begins in the school and dedicated himself to education. Oshakan is remembered as a cultural light, a writer who preserved forgotten stories, and a teacher who taught generations to keep their roots alive. Photographer Biberyan captured a warm, unforgettable moment during the opening of a park in Van. In the middle of music and celebration, groups of local children, around 10 to 12 years old, danced freely to both Armenian and Middle Eastern melodies. They did not think about steps or technique, the music guided them. Among them, one little boy stood out. His natural, lively movement became the soul of the dance, symbolizing freedom and joy. The children's halai was more than a dance. It was a moment where childhood, music, and free spirit came together, a moment warm, preserving. Current authorities in eastern Armenia say that the Artsakh issue is Azerbaijan's international matter and that their responsibility covers only 29,000 square kilometers. Ashot Harutyunyan says this is a serious mistake. It abandons historical rights and national continuity. Documents from 1916 to 1920, including the Treaty of Sèvres and Woodrow Wilson's arbitral award, show that the Armenian question is an issue of international security. Armenians remain the legal successors of this heritage. When Yerevan rejects this responsibility, a legal gap appears. The Republic of Western Armenia and President Aprahamian work to fill this gap and defend the rights of Artsakh's native Armenians. Artsakh Armenians still live in legal uncertainty, and Harutyunyan says the solution is restoring legal succession through the work of Western Armenia and Aprahamian. If you have any questions or want to learn more, you can visit our official link. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.